Wave report tabs. Summary. Summary tab provides a general summary of the accessibility issues on the tested web page. Details. Details tab lists all the accessibility findings based on errors, contrast errors, alerts, etc. categories. Reference. Reference tab offers additional information about each accessibility gap discovery. Order. Order tab is an excellent tool to check the web page's tab order when using the tab key to navigate the page content. Structure. Structure tab displays the structural hierarchy of the web page, including headings, lists, tables, page regions, and more. Contrast. Contrast tab represents color contrast related issues that could affect readability for users with visual impairments. Summary tab 1 of 6. Upon activating the Wave browser extension, you'll be redirected to the Summary tab, which is the first tab on the Wave's sidebar report, signified by a home icon. When selected, it provides a general summary of the accessibility issues found on the tested web page. Wave Summary tab categorizes the results of the accessibility evaluation into several key categories. Each category serves a specific purpose in identifying and addressing accessibility issues on a web page. It lists the number of errors, color contrast errors, alerts, features, structural elements, area, accessible rich internet applications, potential problems. Details tab 2 of 6. The Details tab is the second tab on the Wave's sidebar report, signified by a list icon. When selected, it offers additional details of the Wave's findings. Lists all the accessibility findings based on errors, contrast errors, alerts, structure, and other categories. Note: the Details tab displays a list of all the injected Wave icons on the page. Selecting any of these icons will scroll the page to the specific element. Reference tab 3 of 6. The Reference tab is the third tab on the Wave's sidebar report, signified by an eye icon. When this tab is initially selected, no information is displayed inside it. However, there are two ways to generate further information about reported callouts in the Reference tab. The first way is to select the eye icon in the Details panel first, and then the associated information will automatically be generated in the tab. The second way is to select the result icon on your web page. In the pop-up, select Reference. When associated information is populated in the Reference tab, the following information is listed: category type of an observation, summary of the accessibility concern, what it means, why it matters, how to fix it, the algorithm that Wave found this problem and the violated standards and guidelines, WCAG. Order tab 4 of 6. The Order tab presents the tab order of the web page's focusable elements, types, and accessible names, which are all essential information that screen readers and other assistive technologies communicate. Note: when the Order tab is selected, Wave removes the usual injected accessibility result icons and replaces them with the number icons, which denote the tab order. The following are some of the points to review in the Order tab. Number 1, the tab order is logical. For example, it starts at the top and goes down the page in a logical order. Number 2, only interactive elements, including links, buttons, input fields, and any element with tab index equals 0 or more make up the tab order. On the other hand, non-interactive, static text, elements such as headings, paragraphs, tables should be excluded from the order sequence. Number 3, each element's accessible order, type, and name are logical and meaningful. Screen readers convey this vital accessibility information to their users. Structure tab 5 of 6. The Structure tab presents the web page content's structural hierarchy overview, including headings, lists, and page landmarks, which are essential for navigation and bypassing content, acting similarly to a table of contents, TOC, for a web page. Considering assistive technology users rely on a concise structure to navigate web pages, it is vital to ensure page regions and landmarks are appropriately implemented, including correct header, nav, aside, main, footer, role equal banner, role equal complementary, and other structural elements that do show up in the Structure tab. The following are some of the points to review in the Structure tab. Number 1. Landmark elements are implemented and used correctly. Number 2. Essential landmarks such as header, main, and footer components exist only once on the web page. Number 3. Content is in the suitable page region. For example, global navigation located in the header tag or the role equal banner attribute is appropriately applied to the wrapper content of this widget. Number 4. All headings are sequential and meaningful, explaining the content below them. Headings aren't used just for styling purposes to create spaces or more significant text on the web page. Number 5. There's only one heading level 1 on the web page, and skipped headings did not happen. For example, going from heading 2 to heading 4. Contrast tab 6 of 6. The Contrast tab specifically checks whether the contrast ratios between text and background meet the requirements set by the WCAG 2.0 Success Criteria 1.4.3 Level AA Contrast Minimum that require a minimum contrast ratio of 4.5 to 1 for normal text and 3 to 1 for large text. It highlights areas where the contrast is insufficient, making it easier to identify changes needed to improve readability for all users, including visual impaired individuals. The Contrast tab also offers the desaturation of page content capability to help its users determine whether UI information is delivered via colors only. For example, red form fields are required scenarios rely solely on visual cues, as the red color is entirely lost in grayscale presentations. The Contrast tab also offers a tool to support fixing captured color issues via the Color Picker option. It dynamically calculates new color updates to determine if, based on the font size and thickness, it is successfully meeting the WCAG 2.0 Success Criteria 1.4.3 contrast requirements. Given that Wave does not identify contrast errors in scenarios where text is embedded in images, gradients, or background transparency is present, manual testing becomes crucial to ensure that potential contrast issues are not overlooked. When background images are in use, it's important to adhere to WCAG's requirement for a fallback background color. The Color Picker eyedropper offered in the Contrast tab is a useful tool for measuring image contrasts manually. The following is how to use the Contrast tab to fix any captured color contrast problem. Step 1. Scroll to the bottom of the Contrast tab and select a contrast error icon. This will populate the foreground and background color fields, tell you the contrast ratio, and whether the combination passes for normal or large text. Step 2. Use the sliders to find a new color combination that will pass the requirements. The contrast ratio will update in real time. Step 3. Select the color swatch under the hex code fields to open your browser's color picker. Select any color on the web page to update the hex code. The Color Picker eyedropper offered in the Contrast tab is a valuable tool for measuring image contrasts manually.